Okay, let's go for 5 days in a row of trading for a daily objective. In this case, let's just say we want to go for roughly 800 bucks a day on a 150K account. The objective is to set a daily profit target of 800 without risking any particular day more than 1,000. So over the course of 20 to 21 trading days each month, you're going to have some days where you don't get full profit. You're going to have some days where you might lose a little bit. You might even have a day here and there where you hit your full drawdown. Just a really odd, super choppy day. But in the end, let's say you want to average then, uh, going for a 800 daily profit target, that on every 20, let's say, trading days of each month, after all the trades are completed month after month, you want to average at least 700 a day in actual profit as your overall daily average. If all completed trades, all, considered together. Okay, so let's throw on the strategy quick. We'll go into strategies, and I'm going to try to compact 5 days in a row of trading, 5 sequential days in a row of trading. Time window, I'm going to give us a little bit more time. And I'll go through here and I'll set the settings. I'm US Central Time. Now this is 5 days where we do not have a 7:30 in the morning US Central Time release. The only adjustment I would make is if I'm going to trade on a day when there's a prominent 7:30 a.m. US Central Time, I'll probably start my trading somewhere between 7:32 and 7:30, or 7:32 and 7:35. That's about the only difference I'd have. So I'm going to go in here, set my parameters, basically going for about 800 a day as my daily average. Not going to risk more than 1,000 on any particular day, and so on. So anyhow, I'll go through here, set the parameters, and we'll get this underway. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop down my daily loss limit to only 900. Typically in a 150K account, if I have a $3,300 intraday drawdown, then I'm nowhere near that on a single day basis. Okay, we'll get underway, and the trading will start each day at 7 a.m. US Central Time or Globex time. So we've enabled the strategy, and we'll get some activity. It takes about 20 bars to populate and get the strategy to show the indicator on the chart. And once that does, then I will minimize the chart a bit, and then we'll go in advance. We'll basically put the video on pause and restart the video about 7 a.m. US Central Time, so we can catch the first trades that the system is taking each day out of that time period. And there we go. We have indicators, and we're all set. Okay, standing by for 7 a.m. on our first trade day of the 5-day trade event. Okay, so we're coming up on 7 a.m. US Central Time or Globex time. We did have a signal just a tad before 7, so no trade as of yet. So we're standing by. We'll see what we get standing by for our first trade. Looks like we may get along here. And remember, approach. You don't have to go for a daily goal. You can use optimized settings per instrument, per time frame. And to tell you the truth, I'm just running this on a crappy old 1-minute chart. I'm not using it on any, like optimized Renko or tick chart. Tick chart, range bar charts look really good. Renko charts look good. I just threw it up on a 1-minute chart. I'm not even using optimized settings for the indicator. Now, I'm not saying the indicator is perfect. You do need to do some optimization work, and we have a 3-part video series on how to dial in your iGrid for any manual discretionary trading. But then you can use the optimization backtesting ability within Ninja to take this automated strategy and really dial in. And there's our first trade of the day to the long side. and we're tracking our P&L. So this is day one and trade number one, and we're getting near the U.S. cash session open, which is at 8:30 U.S. Central Time. So we fired off a long trade, so it's flipped to the long side, and we'll see what we get. Some days it'll be one trade will be done. Some days you might get 2 or 3 trades till you're done. Days, if it's a narrow range day, you might get 2 or 3 or maybe 4 trades, and you end the day slightly positive or slightly negative. Okay. So there we go. We just had the first trade of the day prior to the U.S. cash session open. It blipped that trade out when we had a flip in momentum detected. We're now playing the short side, and the long trade has been concluded. So, we're kind of flat from a P&L standpoint. We're not negative, but at least now we're in the U.S. cash session, and we'll see what particular trade. So I do have the ads turned on, so the system is capable of putting. Okay, we're in day one. We had a loser, then we got a short. We had a couple of ads, and it hit our daily profit objective of around $800 is complete. So now we'll go wait till 7 in the morning the next day and see what we get for day two. Okay, we're coming up on 7 a.m. U.S. Central Time. This is a day where we do not have any 7:30 a.m. news. The system has been short since in the middle of the night when the EU session, cash session trades. So we're in day two. We're sitting just shy of 800 for our P&L from day one, and we're waiting for the system. The first trade we could possibly get into is a long trade, since we've been sitting in short mode leading up to, that would have been leading into the trade action right now, in this first part of the pre-market leading up to the U.S. cash session. And on day number two, and standing by. So some pretty significant continuation of the overselling took place in the first part of the morning. Looks like we should be getting very near triggering a long trade. So we'll see what kind of day we get here. And again, we're going for, the system is just looking for 800 a day. A daily stop loss, so close to 1-to-1. And again, just on the 1-minute chart, I haven't even done any optimization. So the settings I'm using are pretty close to default. The default settings on our indicator don't really mean anything. They're just kind of set in a range that's not typical. So anyhow, we're long. We've had a flip. We've had some ads. We've had an ad so far. This play out a bit, and we'll see what we get here. But P&L, we're a little over 1,000, but we'll see what happens on the day here. See if the rally were to continue, not much more. Basically, it could potentially be a one and done day where you get in one trade and then you're done. People that don't take any trades at all automated until after the first half hour the day's open, so they might have their automation start taking trades at like 9 a.m. Chicago time. So they'll still 9 a.m. period. Some people even wait for the first hour. So they won't take any trades till after 9:30 a.m. But in the end, let the operation data pick the best time frame and settings and run with the operation data, back tested it, and verified it a bit. Okay, so standing by, and we'll see what we get. I'll let some of the day play out, then I'll come and review where we're at. So in this case, we're coming up on the end of the day where I normally have the system automatically terminate trades. I think I have it set 30 seconds after the close. We're barely positive. So we're positive over the prior day. We had the long and then the short sitting on in a lot of positions. Coming into the end of the day, I typically if I'm positive on the day and I'm that late in the day, I'm just taking it and calling it a day. And I wait for the next day because, hey, at least I made some progress on the day. Okay, we had a late push lower, actually blipped us and hit our profit objective. Let's see, we're into getting close to the 7 a.m. US cash session open. We're about a minute out from the US cash session, so any next trade we basically will take. So this is day 3 now. So we're just, it's set. If we get to 800, I think I have it set at 810 bucks, blip us out. And we're in day 3. And again, we're just trading on a 1-minute chart. We're not trading anything special. And the settings I have here are not even from NinjaTrader Optimization. It's just, I did a little bit of visually dialing in and I ran with it. Okay, so standing by, we'll see what we get for our first trade on the 3rd trading day. So standing by. Heck of a rally there from the overnight session into the early morning pre-market. We're sitting about 20 minutes from the US session, so maybe we'll get a short. Let's see, we'll push a little lower. We should get a short here just ahead of the US cash session, 8:30 US Central Time open. So very close to triggering a short trade, and that would be our first trade of the day on day number 3. So we'll stand by. This trade of the day. It's lower, but in the end, automation is in control, running everything. And if we get plus our accumulation from the prior day, blip us out, and we'll be done with day 3. Okay, we've got the flip entry. We got one ad, it looks like, so far. And deep in the money. If we probably had one more push low, this might be one of those one and done days where you're done a trade and take care of that for day 3. So if we'll let go of any short positions and we would then be working long positions. So we just missed the criteria for an ad. Just barely missed it. We did get the criteria for ad there. So now that we're loaded up, won't take much of a push lower. And I would think we got to be getting close to our 810 for the day if we blow this area to be absorbed. And that would do it for this day number 3. So blipped out, day number 3 completed, sitting about 2,300 and change going into the last 2 days. One more point I wanted to point out, many of these days we're getting done very early, a lot between 10:30 and noon US Central Time, and that's good. We're going for a daily goal, and we're trying to minimize our exposure to the market by using preferably settings that you've optimized on. And there you go. So now we're on to day 4. Okay, we're in day 4, past 7 a.m. We just took a long. So are we long and wrong? Or what's the automation going to do? So some Mondays can be a little choppy out of the open. We'll see what we get. Some days they just come in and institutionals drive price to a level where they either want to be a seller, so they'll ramp it up to a price level to distribute, or they'll drive it down to an area where they want to buy it. So we have a flip long, and we have one ad so far.